Okay. Well, my name is Sarah, and I am going to talk about France today. With this presentation, I want to inform you about France and eventually persuade you into going there. I've been there a couple of times with my parents, but also with school, and I really liked it, so that's what I'm going to do. And I will start with a small video clip. It's not starting again, but I have a link. Okay.
18 maart. Nodig Disneyland. Voor de meest magische film van het jaar.
It's also French.
Ja.
Nee. Well, I will first start with my table of contents. I will talk about the places you need to visit when you go to France. I will talk about some funny facts and eventually the conclusion. Well, the first thing you need to see when you go to France is probably what France is best known for. It is the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is like a main symbol of France, and it was built for the Universal Exhibition in 1889. For the centenary of the French Revolution. The Eiffel Tower is 324 meters high, including the antenna on the top, and it has three storages, three platforms. The first is at 100. Wait, no. The first is an exhibition about the Eiffel Tower. The second is at 115 meters high. That's as far as I went. Because when I was in France, it was very cloudy and misty, so if I would go any higher, I couldn't see the ground anymore, so that was a pity. But the highest is at 275 meters above the ground, and you can only reach it by elevator. Next, I will go to the Louvre. The Louvre is one of the most famous museums in the world. And has long been like busiest museum in the world. Every year 8 million people come to the Louvre, and this is not surprising because like the most famous artworks are there, like the Mona Lisa and the famous the Milo. Next up is the Sacré-Cœur. Sacré-Cœur is officially the Basilique de Sacré-Cœur. It is located on the hill de Montmartre. And because it is located on the hill, you first have to climb a stair with 237 steps. But if you're not that sporty, there's also a cableway going up. Sacré-Cœur is after the Eiffel Tower, the highest point in Paris. And the stairs in front of the Sacré-Cœur are always very crowded, and it's very nice with all the tourists, but also locals sit there, and I don't think you can see it here because it's like, I think here or maybe down here, I can't really tell, but it's like a really big stair and you can sit there really nicely. Okay, then I will talk about Notre Dame. Most of you probably know the Notre Dame from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, the story about Quasimodo. But the construction of this cathedral was started in the mid-12th century, and it took 2 centuries to build it. It is an immense cathedral where up to 9,000 people can fit in, and but it has been original statues and gurgles of Notre Dame have been replaced over time. Lastly, I will talk about the final destination, and that is Disneyland Paris. It's a few kilometers outside of Paris, and it is the most visited theme park in Europe. The park opened its doors in 1992 and consists of 5 different themed areas. Main Street USA, Frontierland, Adventureland, Discoveryland, and Fantasyland. And the highlight is the parade that's held every day in the Main Street USA. Now I've talked about locations, I want to talk about some funny facts of France. Every year, 5 million snails are eaten in France. The Statue of Liberty was originally intended to be for Egypt, but because Egypt would not pay any money, they gave it to America. There's a little town in France, Sarre-Pourin, where it is forbidden to die. And it's officially forbidden to call your pig Napoleon. Now I will summarize. I showed you a small video clip about France. I've talked about places you need to visit when you go to France. And I taught you some funny facts. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions?